Hello and welcome back. My name is Mike Russo of Russo's Books in Bakersfield, California, and this is the Children's Author Showcase.
Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, Central Coastal California Chapter, in conjunction with Russo's Books, presents Children's Author Showcase, Episode 3, Honey, the Dog Who Saved Abe Lincoln, written by Shari Swanson, illustrated by Chuck Gronick, published January 2020.
So for this episode, we have Shari's book, Honey, and this is a wonderful book, and I've always enjoyed children's books that feature a historical character, and as you can tell from the title, this one features Abe Lincoln and a dog he found when he was a little boy, and it's a fun adventure for kids of all ages, and we're welcome to have Shari. Take it away, Shari. It's all yours.
Hi, Mike. Thank you to Russo's Bookstore for spotlighting Honey, the Dog Who Saved Abe Lincoln, a book I wrote, illustrated by Chuck Gronick. It tells the story about when Abraham Lincoln was a little boy, not like we mostly know him as a president with his hat and in the war, fighting to keep our country together. This is back when he was only 7 and living in a one-room log cabin, just one little window, a dirt floor. Everything that they ate and wore and did, they had to scrape together out of whatever the earth gave, chopping down the logs to make the cabin, hunting for food, planting crops. And young Abraham Lincoln had a lot of chores. And one of those chores was taking the corn to the mill to get it ground into flour so that they could have cornbread or meals made out with the corn. And one time, and it's a long walk, miles for a little boy, 7 years old, miles and miles alone, usually, sometimes with his best friend, but often alone. And one of the times on the way home, he found a dog with a broken paw. And he stopped to see what was wrong with that dog and how he could help. And he ended up wrapping its little paw in a cast and rescuing that dog and taking that dog home and trying to convince his parents that he needed to keep this dog. Now, Abraham Lincoln already had some animals on the farm, not what we would call pets, but sort of pets, kind of frontier pets. He had a tame raccoon that lived with them. He had a crow that he tried to get to talk. He had a goat. He really loved animals. And then he wanted to convince his parents that he should keep this dog. And Honey eventually got okay. His paw got okay. And Abraham Lincoln was able to keep this dog. And it's charming to read these stories because this dog was his companion through his early years. And when the family moved later into Indiana, Honey came. And Honey was his companion there. And later when his mom died, he still had Honey to help. One of the exciting things about writing nonfiction is digging into the research. And I had read a sentence about Abraham Lincoln's time in Kentucky, and I knew, he grew up in a log cabin, and I just wanted to learn everything and anything I could find. As I dug into the research, I found this story about a dog, and it's such a special story to me because it's not just Abraham Lincoln saving the dog, but later Abraham Lincoln was a very curious boy and often trying to see what was going on in the world. And after he rescued Honey and they became inseparable, there was a time when Abraham Lincoln wandered into a cavern and got stuck. And this is one of my favorite pages. Let's see. Here they go into the cavern, and little Abraham Lincoln is going to get stuck. And then Honey, the dog who Abraham Lincoln saved, will be the dog that saves Abraham Lincoln. And we all know that Abraham Lincoln ate it, so Honey was a good dog and brought back help. One of the things that's neat about this story, just from a personal point of view, is I have a dog, and her name is Honey, but she wasn't named after Abraham Lincoln's dog. my granddaughter, when she was about 2, only had a few, she didn't have very many words, but one of her words was honey. And when we got this little puppy, she called her Honey, and it stuck. And then when I did the research and found out about Abraham Lincoln's dog, I thought, oh, this is a wonderful coincidence. I can't wait to write this book. My honey is almost always with me in a similar way to Abraham Lincoln's dog, always being with him. And if you look down, Kitty, Honey, there she is. There she is, keeping me company. She's my girl. I hope you enjoy Honey, the dog who saved Abe Lincoln. Thank you so much for listening, and all the best.
Thank you, Shari. What a wonderful story. To buy your copy of Honey, the dog that saved Abe Lincoln, simply go to www.russosbooks.com/children. When buying from Russo's Books, not only are you supporting independent book selling, but you receive a 15% discount throughout the site. In addition, we also offer free shipping if your total order exceeds $35. Through a special arrangement with the SCBWI, we're able to offer an autographed book plate from Shari Swanson every time you purchase Honey, the dog who saved Abe Lincoln. We know you're going to enjoy this book, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you very much.